everyone. Welcome back to Signals. I'm your host, Gwen Chen. Joining me today is Morana Song, founder of BORA, a storytelling agency that helps organizations write stories that drive growth. Morana has spent years translating complex technology, policy, and innovation into compelling narratives across the United Nations, AWS, and now through her own agency. Today, we're breaking down how storytelling actually supports sales and long-term growth. Morana, I'm so excited to have you here today. How are you?
Thank you. Hi, Gwen. I'm good. How are you? I'm so excited to be here too.
We've known each other for many years, but for the audience who are not familiar with Bora, not familiar with you, can you share your journey from maybe United Nations or even earlier to Bora today?
Yeah, sure. So, yeah, my name is Morana. I'm really excited to meet Gwen's audience here through podcast. I was born and raised in Korea. The reason why I start with this is because it really connects with my identity of speaking English as a second language. And I can't believe I have this career in communications and marketing for over 17 years right now. So, yeah, that's where I grew up. And my first communications job was actually at BBC in London. It was work experience for 6 months. And after the 6 month stint, I decided to continue pursuing communications, but in public sector. For the next, I would say 15 years, I was working in communications and sort of marketing, but marketing, promoting more concept. And for example, like poverty reduction, women's rights, children's rights, AI for children, things like these topics in the public sector using the mechanism of communications. So after the BBC, I joined the World Bank in the poverty reduction section. And after spending 3 years there, I joined the United Nations in New York. That's where I really opened my eyes to different roles in communications. I joined the spokesperson's office. It was 5 of us, 5 spokespeople who were supporting the Secretary General, who is the head of the whole UN system. And we had a noon briefing, just like the White House, every single day. It's rain or shine. You have your briefing and the whole world is listening to you at the time. And, it was not so common to do virtual meetings. It was pre-COVID. So we had a lot of journalists, like hundreds of them, staying with us in person at the UN headquarters as well at the time. So it was a fascinating year to learn about how the media works, how to get your most important information out to the world, and what people actually care about. So it was all about storytelling, but from different angles of themes. So they were more interested in global affairs and politics and crises around the world. But yeah, that was where I truly honed my skills to become a storyteller. And then after that, I wanted to challenge myself. After spending around 15 years in the UN system, I felt like I had done it all. I was a spokesperson. I was one of the founding members for the UN's first human rights office in North Korea, for North Korea. And I worked on children's rights in the use of AI, just so many different themes and roles and areas of communications. And I decided to do something completely different. And I wanted to be innovative. I didn't even know what that meant, what innovation meant at the time. But I just wanted to try something new, different, and challenge myself. I needed an environment where I can learn more. That's where I met Amazon Web Services to be specific. And I had a great connection with the team. I joined the public sector sales team first. So it was doing marketing for the sales team so that they can engage better with the public sector customers, for example, governments around the world. They are working with more than 100 governments around the world and so many nonprofits, schools, hospitals, giving them connection to their services and the people they are serving. So citizens at the end of the day. was fascinating work. And then I moved on to the AI team, and the speed of work was times 10. That's where we met. It was incredible learning experience. I feel like I transformed one more time in the AI team. So after all of this experience, I realized I'm a builder. It was an identity that I never connected with myself. I never knew that until I joined Amazon, that I was a builder. It's in my DNA. That's when I'm happy. So I wanted to please that identity again. I wanted to become a builder again. And it was time to build for myself this time. And I have to admit that, there were challenges and constraints in my personal life that kind of drove me to make that choice. My family needed me more, and I was burnt out working a lot at AWS at the time. And so and we were moving to Madrid. So all of this together, sometimes when you are in the corner, you have to make a decision. Sometimes it turns out to be the best decision. Just made that next best choice. And that's where I started Bora.
Yeah.
And I can tell you more about Bora. But
Yes.
yeah,
First of all, quick comment. What
please.
an amazing life. I know it takes a lot of courage to jump from one thing to the next, and especially to something completely unknown, from Korea to US, from US to Spain, right? And
Yeah.
then from being a journalist to public sector, United Nations, and then to the corporate life. Full respect. Big admira to you, and for the audience who don't know Morana. Morana, to me, she's always holding a magic wand. Whatever project you throw to her, and she will make it very, very high quality, and she will make people surrounding her look good. It was such a pleasure working with Morana. So, Morana, let's come back to before Bora. Maybe a little bit color on builder. I know at Amazon we call us builders. Can you explain what does builder mean to you?
Yeah. So not every organization that I worked for or worked at asked me at every corner of my career, how can we make it better? What change can we bring in to this process? What can you do differently for the person who's at the end of the service, who's the recipient of the service, who's the beneficiary? And that's how I lived my life at the UN, at BBC, at the World Bank, but I just never knew what that was or how to call it. And then I come to Amazon and they actually name it builder culture. And they called me, you are a builder. And then I just clicked instantly. And all the people around me, like my first team and also the AI team, they were all builders. We were constantly wrestling with how do we make it better and what mechanism can we introduce? How do we please our customers more? So yeah, that's the essence of being a builder, I think.
Yeah. So that's a good segue to Bora. So now let's talk about how are you planning to build Bora? There is a beautiful meaning behind the name. Can you explain what it does? What problem is it solving?
Yeah, sure. So Bora in Korean means behold. Behold, look at it, showing to the world. I added an extra A at the end so that it's an exclamation. Bora, behold. So it's not about me or my company. It's about the clients that I serve. I want the world to see their amazing work and the innovations they bring that they're building and the people that I'm serving, these innovative, visionary leaders, mostly in tech, but also serving other organizations as well. So that's the meaning of Bora. And I wanted to build an agency or a marketing partner who will really lift up the client from strategy to writing content to videos or presentations, whatever they need, and solve their business problem. So not just providing whatever service that they need, but really starting from the problem and strategy and go from there. So the content we're building is just a means to solving those business problems. When I was at AWS, I worked with a lot of different competent, incredible agencies and vendors. I learned so much from them. And, some of them were amazing writers, great designers. Some of them are really great created videos or motion graphics, but nobody really brought the whole thing to the table as a one-stop shop. So that's the gap I wanted to fill when I started Bora. I wanted to be that one-stop shop who starts from not just what to bring to the client, whatever they need, not just the video for this event, but start from the business problem, strategy. Could be writing, it could be social media, executive communications, it could be product launch, it could be many different forms. But what we do is we let their innovations seen to the world. So our mission at Bora is make innovation seen.
Wow. Such a beautiful way to describe the
Thank you.
company. You're basically a whole marketing team who
Yeah.
deliver end-to-end solutions to
Sorry.
help companies tell their story to the world audience.
Yeah, that's where I'm headed. And when you have a clear mission, I think it's so important to have a vision and mission for your company when you're starting. And even if you're starting very, very small, when you have that clear mission, people who are like minded join you and they want to collaborate with you. So that's where I'm headed right now. Yeah.
Amazing.
Thank you.
For marketing professionals who do not have a lot of technical engineering background, what advice would you give to them?
Yeah, I get this question a lot too. And for myself also, when I was trying to cross the bridge from the public sector to private sector or tech, there were many hurdles because the gap was huge and, the differences in
Right.
doing things. And yeah, but you have to start from your own mindset that it's all about connecting the dots. So whatever you're bringing to this new role, new company, new team, it's going to be unique and it's going to be adding value to the whole picture. So that's the mindset I want to share with people. And secondly, more practically, what I did was in the field of tech or the industry, I feel like there are two layers, or how do I describe this? So it's not just horizontally all tech solutions. There are verticals as well. And we often forget the verticals and we only focus on the horizontal tech solutions. But you can bring your experience from different verticals. For example, for myself, my way in was public sector, which is a vertical. And I didn't know much, to be honest, I didn't know anything about the cloud or how the inside works. But because I bring that, by having spent time in the public sector, I knew the customers. I knew the technical challenges that they were going through, the aspirations and what they wanted to solve, what they wanted to be by using this tech. So by knowing that, it was a value that I could bring to the horizontal team, which had tech solutions. So when we put together those, we were better received by the customers. And so, yeah, always think of both ways where you can bring your unique values.
So leveraging your past experience and find a entry point and start learning from there. And in the meantime, delivering value and delivering work as well, right? So okay, we are in February, but still beginning of the year, right? So what's your big bet for this year?
So not a long time, right? I don't know if you consider not a long time. Yeah. So it hasn't been a year. I have to think about what I want to do on the first year anniversary, 1 year anniversary,
When is that?
May this year. So
Three
yeah.
months. Yeah.
So yeah, it hasn't been a year. It's still new, but last year I was really focused on just kind of trying it out. If I'll be able to, in a way, survive by myself. I had always worked for a big organization. UN, BBC, these are all big names and, AWS, humongous. It's a giant. And I was a one person last year and I wanted to try as many things as possible by myself. Do accounting, do marketing, do sales, all these different skill sets that I didn't have to do previously. And being solo meant I had to do a lot of different things by myself. And it was actually really, really fun. So I had a lot of fun building and doing things solo last year. My big bet this year is building a global team. And it doesn't have to sound so fancy. What I mean is I am, the founder and the sole operator who has been carrying Bora's mission until now. I want to find like-minded people who can collaborate with me, who are also like one-person company, one-person agency who brings incredible design skills, things that I don't have. And then we create one team and we become a one-stop shop. So this was a vague vision that I had. And the clear vision I had about this vague vision was to hold a year-end virtual party. So I imagined myself having a year-end virtual party with these collaborators around the world. And I was just imagining to myself, okay, that's my dream. I want to do that in December 2026. So that was my big bet. Interestingly enough, I have already found those people and I've started building that team, and I've just finished a world tour of connecting with talents from India to New York to Portugal, Indonesia, Korea. Amazing. When you are opening doors to collaborate with virtual workers like myself, there are so many people who are ready to be efficient, effective, and talented. So yeah, I'm so excited to build with them. I've already did like smaller projects with them, and we have learned from each other how to work better as a team, and we're ready to take on big projects this year.
Yeah, I'm so proud of you, Morana.
Thank you.
Nothing is more exciting work with like-minded professional.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have to share, last year I volunteered to do like free one-on-one sessions with solo founders. I have deep admiration and respect to solo founders. So I offered 10 sessions and I connected to talents across all of the world, and they are like asking like similar questions and they are facing similar challenges. It's really, really rewarding to see that you can offer something that's useful to them, and connecting with them and see the things they're building, the desire they have to provide something useful to the society.
Absolutely. Yeah, to share more details, I, used LinkedIn to find those people, and I did a job alert. And we are an unknown company, super small, and I didn't even specify which clients we work with. It was just about the job and how it's open to all walks of life and wherever you are. Doesn't matter. And I received more than 250 applications from all around the world, and it's incredible. And super talented people.
So let's jump to content. So you spent a lot of years in United Nations, right? And then also maybe we can think about BBC and World Bank as well. How did working in those kind of organizations shape how you are thinking about content today?
Yeah, it's a good question. And it's something that I wrestled with a lot more at AWS because I was in the sales team. How do I actually, sales team, it's very clear. They bring numbers and they have clear goal, quota, and you deliver it or you over deliver it, which is great. However, content, it's really hard to show the end result, not just by showing how many people clicked on it, how many people saw it, even the number of impressions. I don't know how accurate it is to act as a sole proof of result. So what my experience taught me at the United Nations and, like the World Bank and BBC, that result is actually in the impact also. It might not be a number. And I always carried that. So it could be changing some people's attitude. It could be changing the mind of that one decision maker. And the number is super small, but the impact might be much bigger. So yeah, one of the big challenges that I worked on at the UN in my time is back in the days, like in 2000 and I would say like 10, 11, 12. I don't know if you remember, but climate change was not real yet. People didn't really talk about it. And those who talked about it were saying that climate change is a hoax, that it's not real. So our team, it was one of my area of, we all had like coverage areas in the spokesperson's team. And in 2012, I was working on climate change topic for the Secretary General. And it was a long, long, hard battle. And it was really hard to show immediate result. I couldn't say how many people's mind have changed or things like that. But I learned how to influence the impact, how to work with different constituencies who affect the result. For example, policymakers or science community. I think it could be similar in tech as well, having to work with so many different groups of people. So yeah. And now, many, many, many years later, we don't even question that anymore. We just know we all we want to work towards how to prevent climate change or slow climate change. So I think in the big picture, it was a huge impact. And I'm thankful that I was able to contribute in a way.
Yeah. So for stories, for content, some of them are quantifiable, some of them are not. For those that are not quantifiable, and completely agree with you.
Yeah.
You can't just look at the number and tell whether content is successful, is good or bad. You have to look at the impact. Sometimes the impact could be a new policy introduced or changed or even mentioned somewhere.
Yeah.
That's the impact you want to look at.
Yeah.
I have guests shared with me in previous episodes. So, one example is they got analysts change their mind or create a new magic quadrant. That's a huge, huge impact that cannot
Yeah.
be quantified by a number.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's amazing. And it might not be right now, also. It could be years later or.
Yeah, exactly. Marana, when I was on AI team, I know how complicated it could be. There were so many product launches, and many of them are very complicated. You delivered keynotes in innovation talks in such an amazing way. And then also, you've worked on a lot of sales presentations. Well, I have a question for you. For keynotes, like leadership, executive talks, and then sales presentations, these are like two two different format of content. What are your thoughts on this? Connecting to the previous question on impact, like first of all, why are these two formats of content are powerful tools in communications?
Mm.
And just maybe explain to me like what is your process of working on these two different types of content and why are these two different format of contents are powerful?
Yeah. So it's essentially connecting with the core of being a human. Humans have been listening to storytelling and telling stories for I don't even know how many years. And, we as humans, we don't remember numbers and facts, but we remember stories when it's told. In a way, stories should be told. So, yeah, it's really connecting with that core of being a human. And if you look at marketing, like strictly from marketing perspective, there was a social experiment, I think only like 20 years ago or something, but there were two journalists who did this experiment called significant objects. They bought like, I don't know the number, but like hundreds of different objects that were cheap, and then they started selling on eBay. And each one, altogether it was like $120 or something. So it was not, fancy objects. And when they were just selling the objects, they didn't sell well. But then they gave a narrative, a story to each one. And then the sales was increased by 2,700%. So,
Wow.
yeah. When you have a story, when you have a narrative attached to a product or something, it comes alive. So people react to it. They desire it, and they already start thinking about themselves using it or enjoying the value of it. So it's the same for keynotes and sales presentations. You are not just pitching your product, but you are telling a story of what this could do for you, your team, your company, your customer, and solve those problems that you have today.
Yeah. So both of them are customer facing. Both of them are created with customers in mind. So in order to do an effective communication, storytelling is key.
Yeah. Yeah. To connect with the people you want to reach. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. So So I want to come back to the content marketing in previous questions. Like, how do you, in your mind, how do you define what is good, what is bad?
Good is simple. It helps you imagine you using it, using the service or the product already, and not just using it, but being transformed because of it. To be a better person, better provider to your customers, your end customers, whatever it is, you should be able to already imagine yourself, envision yourself being transformed because of it. That's the best content. And it's called envisioning. And I've experienced it as a consumer many times as well. For example, when you go to there's so many AI like image or video creation tools. And some websites, as you scroll down, you're already imagining yourself as a creator. Like maybe I can be this incredible YouTuber. And I already imagine myself with 1 million followers and daydreaming. Okay, it's going to transform the way I create things and I can have fun with it. I can be this person that I want to be. I click purchase already. Some websites, you don't connect that way. You can't envision yourself. Then it's disconnect. You don't go further. You don't listen to them. End of story. So I think best content is content that helps you envision.
Yeah. It's interesting we're talking about marketing, but sales has a similar philosophy. What you said just to remind me of my conversation with Kelly Blessing, right? Like she was, a former CRO of Tableau and a former CEO of Gong, and she mentioned sales is all about emotional connecting. So, like good storytelling apply to both marketing and sales. If you can write a copy or communicate in a way that can connect with your target audience emotionally, your content or your storytelling can be transferred to real growth and dollars and revenue.
Yeah, absolutely. I was listening to her a little bit in the beginning and I want to continue. Yeah.
Highly recommend that
Yeah,
episode.
yeah, yeah. Like a great conversation.
Yeah. I want to switch gears to customers. We talked about we talked about career, we talked about content. Now let's jump back to customers. So I know for all of the founders in the audience, we know building trust and gaining customers are, especially at the very beginning, is very challenging, difficult. Like, what is your secret sauce, and how do you build credibility and then trust along the way?
Yeah. So when you are working with, usually when your client comes to you, it's a team, rarely just one person. And it's a team. And each interaction with the team members is critical. So what I try to ask myself is it's a simple question: what's in it for them? Sometimes it's a partner team. What's in it for them? They want to please their partners through this and solve this problem that they have with them. Sometimes it's a product team who wants to be known for this product and really be the center of the star at this conference. So what's in it for them? I try to ask that question before each meeting and have answers or, in a way, guidance ready already. And then I add their input, and then each touch point I have is just absolutely critical. You have to make them satisfied uh, and really be ready to help them achieve whatever they want to achieve at each meeting. So that's what I think about in general. And it was just reconfirmed one more time when I started Bora. I didn't have a client for weeks and I wasn't sure if it was going to be whole year was like that or many years. So
That's very normal, Morana.
yeah, it is normal. But yeah, now I look back and I'm like, oh yeah, why was I so anxious about it? But I just wasn't sure. And then this one potential client came to me and he said, I still don't trust you. And I welcome that kind of comment. He was being transparent with me and he said, okay, but I'm willing to give you a test. So I'm going to give you this test and I want you to come up with. So this is the ABCDE messaging that we use in our company all the time. And I'm tired of it, but I have to stick to it. Using these, come up with a completely different story that will land on my customers. And it was AI and other things. So I delivered the next day and he onboarded me immediately.
Yeah. So ask yourself what's in it
Yeah.
for each one of the touch point, and then deliver and make best use of each one of the interaction.
Yes.
deliver what you promised.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Amazing. So, do you have a like a concrete example on a piece of content that I know you shared one as one example as in a test or a pilot? Like, what is a good example to maybe explain the content directly win customers or opening more doors?
Yeah. So this one customer, I thought it was a success or a good example to share with you because I solved their problem or helped solve their problem using content. Their business challenge was they became a new partner to this other company, and these sales representatives in that company are already working with so many other partners. They're not interested in this new partner who came along. And these are like 500 sales leaders, and they wanted to win their heart in a way. They wanted to get introduced, tell them what we do, and also make them call them and start working together to sell together. And it was a really hard won opportunity to give a presentation. Normally, they don't get invited to these, they're called sales kickoff. At the beginning of the year, all the sales teams get together, and this sales team of 500 people invited my client to give a presentation. So it was a very precious 15 minutes that we had to win. So yeah, we considered every aspect of this opportunity, like what time it is and will they be tired? Is it after a meal? When is it? So we decided to start with a skit, make that human connection. At the end of the day, behind this team is 500 people who want to
Yeah.
get to know them. So in the skit, we introduced what we do and what we can do differently and in a better way than other partners that they already work with. What problems, what's in it for you? We're going to solve that for you. So yeah. And then at the end of the presentation, it was when to call us. Very specific action points that they can do. When you hear this line, call me. When you hear this line from your customer, call me. Very simple, but I think it worked out really well. And apparently that 15-minute segment became the talk of the town during the sales kickoff. And they started selling together with these 500 people.
Yeah, that's amazing. Did you use AI in any
Yeah,
of
all
these?
the time. I wouldn't exist without. So they say how AI not just enhances your work, but transforms your work, right? And that's exactly me. It transformed the way I live, the way I work. Yeah, everything. I wouldn't be able to be a solo entrepreneur last year and now continue with the team around the world without it.
Yeah. So I asked all of the guests to share their AI use cases. Could you share your maybe top three, or if you have more, more
Mm.
than welcome to share how you use AI to help you create content and including the presentations and then the keynotes, script, and other projects.
Yeah. So first, AI is my data point tool. So I use AI to bring me the best information or facts, data points that I'm looking for, or even stories that I don't have time to search through. So that's one thing. And it's usually a really good starting point and inspiration for any storytelling that I do, any content that I build. So yeah, research tool using AI for fun. I think that's when your creativity comes alive and you get to experience more, learn more when you're having fun. So for example, I have this personal fun YouTube project. I'm a lone diner and I generate script 100% using AI, and each episode AI directs with me. And I'm in the video, but it's like 50-50 work together. So
Yeah.
it's been really fun that way. Even like camera angle or what should I show here, like it's a conversation with my assistant director. It's incredible. And the third thing is it's for my company vision. I have a vision board in the AI tool that I use, and I talk about how to grow my company. What are the avenues of innovation, or what can I do differently? What are the big bets that I have to try this year? Things like that. Yeah, that's been really fun. And I think that's in a way I was not lonely as a one person, like solo founder last
Mm.
year.
Yeah. So you have a lot of AI workers to help you to
Yeah.
support you. So
Many different roles. Yeah.
so for the audience, I will share your Lone Diner link so they can take a look. Those are fun videos. I enjoyed watching a lot. You have 3 or 4 right now. You have to
Yeah. I don't remember. Yeah.
do more.
Yeah.
Miranda. Those
Even
are
with AI,
really
it takes time. Yeah.
That's exactly what I want to ask in my next question. As a human marketer, skills or traits do you need to have in order to stay effective? I guess what I'm trying to say is, how do you define marketing in the age of AI as a human? What's
Yeah.
unique about
That's
human marketers?
Yeah, that's a really big question. And I don't want to say, like, I have this crystal ball and marketers should do this one, two, three. I don't know that. And I'm just a learner like many of us right now. And each step I'm trying it. And then some things work, some things don't work as well. And yeah, just taking one new thing at a time at this point. But yeah, just like marketers had to shift when the TV came out or a new thing came out. But at the end of the day, I think the gist does not change. You have to connect with your audience, with the people you want to influence. So as long as you focus on that way to get there or how you do that, you just have to be adaptive and flexible. So learn all the time, try new things. And that's one thing. But I think really important to focus on authenticity. I think that's what will make your product different, make your story different, make your content, make your marketing different. So when you think about that, then only then like authenticity wins at the end of the day, and that's when your story stands out. And I call it the Bora differentiation as well. Like in my work, I always think about how do I do this differently, but in an authentic way that it stays with people and that it's actually real. So yeah, going back to that realness and authenticity will be the question I will carry no matter what in the age of AI.
Yeah, that's pretty much very similar to what other guests shared with me. If you care about your customer, if you care about your audience, the work you're delivering is gonna be more authentic, as opposed to when you read a piece, you can't tell whether it is for Bora or not a company.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
For those who are ready to hire their first marketing professional, what should they look for?
Yeah. So when you are hiring that first marketer for your startup, it's someone who will have the mindset of doing everything. Essentially, it's your growth marketer. It's not going to be your content only marketer or your product marketer. It'll have to be that one person for everything. Look at the macro view, micro, willing to be fast, willing to pivot, and willing to embrace new things, try new things, but at the end of the day, willing to wear many different hats. And we don't see that in everyone. And I think it's a really important value to have if you are hiring that 1%. And with that growth mindset and adaptability, you will have good results together.
Can agree more. I remember my FG life. I was
Yep.
hired as a SEO or growth hacker, but then I was asked to do more work like in developer relations, even product management and even content. And then later on, I was doing a lot of product marketing work. A friend, she has a better way to describe this. For the first marketer, whether you call it growth marketer or product marketer, this person has to have the mindset that they are open to pick up work. They also have to have this ability to see the work.
Mm,
If you
true.
see something is missing,
Yeah,
you're ready to jump on immediately, as opposed to waiting for your boss to tell you what to do.
true. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, it's amazing, Marana. It was just so fun connecting with you again. Is there something else you want to share with our audience today?
Well, yeah, I think it's a community. So I welcome contact or, just saying hi or commenting and, learning together as a community through you and also through your podcast. But at the end of the day, it's a human community, and I would love to be part of that together with you and build it with you and carry it together. Yeah, as a marketer community in the age of AI.
It's great to have you here, Morana. Thank you so much for coming.
Bye.